Traders, welcome back to another price action trading lesson. Today's session started with a trading range, very healthy and particularly slow trading range. And when there is a slow trading range like this, from the beginning of the session, there was no trend to start the session, just a trading range. I really want to focus on following trading range rules. I want to buy low, sell high, and at the same time, I'm following shorten channels, the trend line rule. Because even inside a trading range like this, the trend line rule still applies. So we had a break new low, second entry long before the session opened. And then we had an uptrend working higher, breaking new high, and we're bouncing off the resistance. Now, we have a breaking new extreme. This means I'm not thinking about buying because uptrend played out. And according to range rules, we may go all the way down here. Can I sell, however, at the same time? I cannot because we have 3 horrible dojis and we're still above EMA and not fully at this resistance. Had there been failed breakout, you could have considered selling. So I'm just going to be waiting. As long as we're above EMA, I don't really want to sell. You can see congestion here. I'm going to draw small support here because price action is congested. So I'm just going to be waiting, not really buying, not really selling. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, we're bouncing off the resistance. This is a good sign because if it's going to hold, this means the sellers are stepping into the market around this area and we want to buy low, sell high. But the signal bar has a bad tail at the bottom. It didn't break below the previous bar. I don't think we can sell just yet. Okay, once I can see massive push below EMA like this, this is a good sign for the sellers because the resistance key level held. Range rules, strong push below EMA, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw the shortened channel and I'm thinking about possible lower high or for second entry long, and we have a great lower high, and also I can come from this low and treat it as a first entry short, pull back, second entry short. So this right here is a second entry short, great signal bar, tier 1, right at the EMA, you don't have to chase it, and you're selling at the upper portion of the trading range. This is the first great high probability setup. Remember, in trading ranges, you need to use the trading range rule and not do what common sense is telling you. You need to force yourself to sell high and buy low. Great setup. Market continues to work lower. There's a failed second entry long, but this is an inside bar. And by the time it forms, it is way too late because it's already close to the bottom. And this is a horrible inside bar. You cannot take a setup like this. So I cannot sell just yet. So we have new extreme. So once again, I'm thinking about possibly going long, but we're still not fully at the support. Another inside bar. I would like to see stronger push to this important key level before I'm going to consider buying. We are kind of hanging right in this area and I can have my support also a little bit lower. So not a good long just yet. We have a high low, but this is a tight trend range and I don't want to be buying at the very top of the move in the middle of this trend range. So let me just be patient what's going to happen. Okay, and price action keeps trending higher strongly. Now, as you can see, I cannot fade the breakout. Okay, fading means trading the breakout in the opposite direction. Meaning, if you break higher, fading means selling. I cannot sell just yet because I have a shortened channel in place. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to follow the shortened channels because it will help you to understand what's happening in the market and which side is stronger. Right now, the bulls are in control because they want to see the new extreme. At the same time, I cannot go long. We're far from the EMA, so I'm just going to be patient. And this was interesting because market kept pushing so far up, far from this resistance. It basically tells us that the structure is developing into stronger uptrend because notice how tiny the break is. We cannot even touch the EMA. You definitely cannot fade because you are too far up from the trend range and the move is way too steep. It's just going to happen. And you can see how far the price action keeps pushing, so definitely need to redraw a wider channel like this. And now it's getting quite clear. Are you expecting for price action to go back into this trend range? You are not. Because notice how far the price action already is compared to this trend range. This uptrend is completely detached from the initial trend range. The structure and the bias is bullish. And if we have a break, we expect new high for this uptrend. So just be thinking about possible second entry long at the EMA because I cannot go long just yet. I don't know how strong the pullback is going to be. I want to wait for a high probability setup, pull back to the 21 bar EMA in the form of a two-legged pullback. Okay, we already have a break in new extreme, so this is not what I want to see. But and notice how price action keeps trending higher. After break new highs, so many legs working higher, this forces me to redraw wider channel. You can see not a single confirmation of the EMA. So this is really easy task for me to redraw wider channel because we have no confirmations of the EMA, still looks very steep, extremely steep trend, and so many pushes out the new high. So there is no correction, no reversal, continuation. But we had overshoot. Notice I already widened it a little bit with this overshoot like this, and now we definitely have overshoot. I don't think I want to play it without overshoot because there is no bounce here. It is safer to play with overshoot because we're so far from the EMA and it is getting quite steep towards the end of this push. A lot of times this can mean exhaustion. So we have overshoot. We can expect stronger pullback. However, I'm not thinking about selling. I'm only thinking about buying, but I need to let the correction play out. I'm thinking about buying because if we get a break of this channel, we're gonna need new extreme. So I'm just gonna be patiently waiting. Okay, I'm gonna redraw the small congestion like this. Now price action is breaking lower. This is a failed breakout out of this congestion, and most breakouts will fail. I cannot go long just yet, however, because we had overshoot and we broke out of the congestion here. This is only first entry long, first leg down, so you never know there's going to be the second leg down, especially if you can make a case for overshoot. So even though it worked, just be patient. I'm thinking about possible second entry long. Now we have a second entry long, but we're not even touching the EMA, not even with the tail, let alone the body. Too far up. I cannot go long just yet. It is so far from the EMA. Let's see what's gonna happen. At this point, I'm thinking about possible two-legged pullback here. First leg down, second leg down. And this is interesting because this right here from this low is a first attempt to sell, pullback, second attempt to sell. This is a failed second entry short. And I was thinking we're gonna get the new extreme, but once it forms so bullish tier 1 signal bar closing above EMA and there's small micro double bottom, the trend is so strong. Notice how strong the trend is. Overshoot played out and this is decent. Sell to take a chance. Great entry. Work for a quick little easy scalp. You cannot go long at this point because you can see, once again, not at the EMA, and right now I can see some potential resistance. We're so far up right here, so I gotta be careful. You need to buy low when the correction phase is ending, not chase it up like this, and you're not even touching the EMA, so just be patient. Short and downtrend, I cannot go long. Need to be patient. Okay, I'm gonna redraw it. I cannot fade a breakout because right now there's a downtrend working lower. At the same time, I'm not thinking about selling. There's going to be second entry short. This uptrend may get a retest. Notice we had attempt for new extreme. Sometimes buyers can consider it enough, but there is no technical break in a new high, and I don't know if there's going to be another attempt. Because this was quite a strong uptrend, I want to play it safe. So if there's going to be second entry short, I don't really want to sell just yet. Now it formed bad because it didn't take higher above this bar, so there's no great sell setup anyway. But hopefully this is clear because this uptrend is so strong, never touch the EMA here. We can still have attempt for new extreme, and this stronger push can be explained by overshoot. You know, sellers, they can have a bit stronger momentum, so it is not uncommon for there to be a push like this. So I'm thinking about breaking low and then push above EMA. Okay, we have a break new, and this is good because we have a nice bullish bar and push above EMA. I cannot take high low like this. Horrible bar, didn't take below. It is too far up. Can we get a failed second entry short? And by the time we get a failed second entry short, it is too far up. Once again, horrible bar, not even touching the EMA. I don't think we can take double bar entry. Plus, we can't really find good short-term channel. This is too broad. Okay, this is decent. It can need a new extreme, but you know, I cannot go above bearish bar. Just no clean entry. Just be patient. Okay, we have a break in new high. And market is selling reversing all the way down, so I need to adapt. This was attempt to create new high, last ditch effort to create new extreme that failed, and right now we have bearish reversal all the way down here. So you're no longer going to argue with the market, trade the structure you get. You can see how far you retrace the uptrend. So I'm just following the price action. We have a break new low, but this also resembles the spike and a channel pattern like this. We have another overshoot. I'm going to mark it. We can have stronger pullback in the opposite direction. We have a first entry short. Now, had there been second entry short, it would have been okay to take even with overshoot because those two legs are broad, but there was no trigger here. You can see no break below. So there's new low, first entry short pullback, second entry short has yet to trigger. And remember, notice spike, channel pattern. We're at the EMA, two-legged pullback. So what are we expecting? We're expecting according to price action rules to get new extreme. And this is basically what we're doing. Just following these short-term channels throughout the day, this allows us to predict what's going to happen in price action. By the time we get a second entry short, you can see new low, first entry short pullback. I cannot sell below bull bar. I can't use double bar entry because look at the big bullish tail here. Horrible, ugly bars. Can we get lower high confirmation setup? Yes, but the same story. Ugly doji here. Or bearish doji, ugly tail at the bottom. Just no good signal bar. These are all subpar signal bars. I cannot take them. Can we get a failed second entry long, new high, first entry long, second entry long failure? Fell second entry long will be great, but the same story. Horrible setups to sell below. I cannot sell. There's some resistance forming. We're definitely gonna get new low. Uptrend played out with the break new extreme, but these bars are just horrible to sell below. So even though it happened what we expected, just so many stems here on my chart, I just cannot see a single entry to enter. Had there been better bars, this setup would have been great. For example, had there been no tail right here, imagine there being no bullish tail. It's a great second entry short, but this is what happened. Now notice you're breaking new extreme, but the push down is very strong. Now I was thinking about possible wider downtrend, but it seems a little bit too early because this move resembles broad two leg pullback. So once we can see broad two legs like this, I think it's early. And plus, notice you can have possible overshoot. And how do I know if there is no overshoot like this or overshoot? So I definitely have to play the alternative with the overshoot. So unclear at this point. I wasn't even playing this channel. At this point I was playing two-legged pullback down. So what I'm gonna do, redraw short uptrend, and I'm gonna respect it. If I'm not sure, I'm just gonna wait and let's see what's gonna happen. I cannot go long, I cannot go short. Okay, I'm just waiting. Okay, now we have consolidation, so I'm gonna redraw the short-term congestion. Uptrend played out with the break new extreme. I cannot take any setup here. Horrible doji. You can see the congestion is just long. Okay, and now we have distinct fell breakout. Fell breakout out of this congestion. Uptrend played out with the break. 2 attempts to get new extreme. And notice the great signal bar. Now this is a fell breakout, and most breakouts will fail because uptrend played out. There's a big chance it's gonna pull back, and the structure overwhelmingly looks bearish. But this is way too advanced setup because you cannot trust the wider downtrend yet, and it is still above EMA, so more advanced trader can consider taking. It is good clue that the uptrend played out with 2 legs to new high, so there should be no reversal, especially if we trade it down. But the safest option is to always wait for lower high confirmation setup. And once I see this push below EMA, this is where I started trusting this downtrend, getting confirmation here. It makes sense. We had a tiny little overshoot like this, equal break on the other side, strong push below. So now if we get lower high confirmation setup, it will confirm the fell breakout and this downtrend needing new extreme. And there's a great tier 1 signal bar. This is absolutely gorgeous. Lower high confirmation setup right at the EMA. Downtrend is new extreme, and price action is pushing back above EMA. There is no entry. Micro double bottom resets the count. Now I'm pausing looking to sell because why are we not creating new low, and why are we pushing above EMA like this? It is getting slow and choppy, so as long as we are above EMA, I cannot really sell. I cannot go long because downtrend may need new extreme. Remember, I cannot sell above EMA just yet, so I need to be patient here. Congestion, I don't think we can go long. We traded down into this. Okay, we're still above EMA, too much congestion, and pretty much nothing happening. We're breaking lower, and now the market is about to close, and the downtrend got new extreme. However, I don't see any. Had there been some nice lower high here or here, you could have considered, but just chop, push lower, chop, push lower. No lower highs here, and this one is way too far from the EMA, way too far down. Now we're looking at NASDAQ 1500 tick chart, and I want to talk about this chart specifically because today was very slow. It was a slow and choppy day, even though price action was very nice and predictable, so we cannot complain about that. But it can be a little bit slow, it can be quite exhausting, and it can take a long time before you're going to get a setup on your main chart. And you can consider watching multiple timeframes and instruments. As we already mentioned, I recommended 1500 tick chart for NQ and 500 tick chart for CL because price action works exactly the same way. You can even see NQ looks similar to ES, but more importantly, as a price action trader, you want everything in price action to align. And if you can handle watching more instruments and get used to it, you are really waiting for price action to align and get a nice high probability setup. For example, we had a nice confirmed trailing range and a fell second entry short off of it, but there was even cleaner setup. You can see very nice confirmed uptrend, break, new high, first entry long, second entry long, and we need to get new extreme. This is as textbook setup as it gets. Absolutely textbook second entry long. So all you really need is to get few high probability setups on handful of instruments if you can handle it. Training them once again, down to working lower, lower high here, followed by fell second entry long. So just an idea, make sure if you're going to be watching multiple instruments, you can handle it. Don't go straight in and start trading it live. Definitely get used to it, how it trades, if you can handle it. But it is definitely good to be watching on the side, especially if the market slows down, because it can really offer great opportunities. At least for practice, if you're a beginner, you can practice on multiple time frames and see how you can handle watching bars develop live and how you can see these patterns forming. So now we're back at S&P 500. Now, I am a big proponent of trading and mastering one chart. I believe that's the best way how you can become a price action trader. Just pick one chart and master it. Get to know it like the back of your hand, because you want to learn all the tendencies, all the nuances. But price action is pretty much the same on all instruments. So it really makes no difference how many instruments you're trading. You just need to make sure it is not too overwhelming. Today was very easy price action to trade. I love days like these where price action is slower, but the trends are predictable. Just trend up, clean one leg, two-legged pullback, new high, down to working lower, two-legged pullback here, new low, and then wider channel established, lower high confirmation setup. So slower day, you need to be patient. You need to ride these moves when there is no confirmation at the EMA. But once it starts to correct to the EMA, this is where you're gonna bounce and get some nice high probability setup eventually. So I hope you had a good trading day. I'm gonna wrap it up, and good luck with your trading.